Welcome back to the Sound for More channel. Welcome back to another tutorial and demonstration on Piano Motifs. In this video, I'm going to show you one way to start creating some ambient music, and I really hope you like it. Before I continue, I would like to remind my viewers to subscribe, as it helps with growing the channel. So subscribe to my YouTube, and please do consider subscribing and supporting my Patreon as well, because that's the only way for the channel to continue providing more videos, etc. So it's going to be a bit of a tutorial where I show you new features which I haven't demonstrated yet in Piano Motifs, but I'm also going to give you a way to really start creating ambient music. There are many different ways. It can be very subjective, etc., etc. And I'm going to use some instruments. You don't have to use the same UV-free or plugins. There are others that you can use. It goes down also to, it really is a point also preference, and it can be very subjective. So we are in AUM and we create a MIDI channel as we normally do. We instantiate Piano Motifs like so. Let's maximize the window and let's do some settings that I prefer to do. I go to MIDI and I enable channel 3, and so on there, and I put these on channel, sorry, third track, I should have said. I enabled the third track on channel 10. So this is enabled channel 10, and I press done. Okay. Next, I go to here to the setting of the keys. I like to do these in B minor. So I set B here, and the scale, I select the B minor, and then I lock it. You can see here it says B minor 4/4. Then I go on more settings as well. And yeah, I like to put the melodic restraint on scale, and I lock it as well. When it comes to third track, I click on sustain, and I ensure that there is multi-bar sustain, so sustain between bars, and there are no silent bars as well, because I want to be ambient, so I want that to continue. Then I go to melody, and I enable here where it says melody harmony, I enable to random, but you can choose a different interval, okay? And I press done for now. Then I go back to MIDI, and now you have a melody harmony option. I set these as a channel number 11, and I press done. Okay. The next thing which I like to do is to set the right tempo. This is ambient, and you really need to make it really slow. So either you are not in sync and you set it here, or if you are in sync, then you need to double click here on AUM, double click here again, and set the appropriate tempo, 20, 25, depending on your taste. And as I've done that, the 20 beats per minute is also reflected here in Piano Motif. Okay. And another thing which I forgot, I like to give it a number of bars, so something like quite advanced. That is one way you could do that, okay? Or I'm going to show you another way, which is about creating a program called progression, but I'll come to that in a moment. Next, you need to really start to have some audio sources. So let's create an audio channel. I really like to use July from AudioThing. It really works well for me. So particularly on pads. So I select pads, this fat pad here. And I decrease the cutoff quite low. Okay, similar on the resonance. I decrease also the release and the attack a bit. And then I adjust the volume like so. I make sure there is no noise, but again, that's your preference. Next, I connect these to Piano Motif on MIDI channel number 10, where I have the third track. Okay, so we have an audio source, and we have done some settings for Piano Motif. So let me show you now chord progression. Okay, so you go to more settings, and you click where it says program chord progression, click on new. Now you can see the scale has been reflected B minor. Now if you click on audition, you should be able to hear sounds, provided that you have the right MIDI channel, because at the moment selected, because at the moment I'm filtering on 10. Let me select it all for now, but I'll come back to it in a second. So now you start to hear some of the chords, of course. So I'm in audition mode. That is why you can hear some of the chords, and the volume depends really on what you set here. So let's increase a little bit more the volume. Barely. But let's remove audition and we do a B minor. Okay, audition again. I like to play them like that, so when I'm happy, I press and I can insert the chord, right? Yeah, that sounds good. And what you can do here, you can clear everything, you can add the silence, of course. And down here you have a number of options which you can scroll, and and you can do also repetition at the bottom here for the progression. You can say add sus4, and then you can add a chord. Okay. When you've done, you have now an option to edit it. Now I lock that so that it doesn't change. Now let's put back these to receive only on channel number 10 for that track where we have those chords. Now let's generate, and then let's click play. So hopefully you can hear that, and it's very slow in changing the chord progression that I have created, but that's the whole purpose. Next, I add an audio channel, and I like to bring in a piano. I love Verve, so really, really nice, and I love this Blue Eyes preset, and I connect it to Piano Motif and only to receive them on channel number 1. And then I press play. You can make immediately some adjustment. You can go up an octave on melody, for example, down an octave on the accompaniment. If it is too low, don't do it, like in this case, or regenerate the motif. It's starting to give you a sense of that atmospheric, right, or ambient type of sound. If you find that the melody is moving too slowly, what I suggest is enable triplet or 16 notes, because it's so slow anyways, 20 bits per minute. It will help, but it will not go as fast as you might think. Again, if you don't like it, just go next, generate a new one and try again. I find that too low, for example, so I generate a new one. It's already sounding really, really nice. So I add another audio channel. And what I like to do on this one, again, I go for July, but you don't have to. You can just choose another one, your favorite synth. I go for receiving only on MIDI channel number 11, so piano motif there. MIDI channel number 11, where I have that melody harmony. And then I spend a bit of time to listen really to what is the best instrument that could help. And again, it goes by preference, but I'm going to make it simple for this tutorial. And let's remove the noise, which I don't like. If you find that it is too high because I set the melody here, well, you might have increased it, for example. You can either act on the, or just, for example, inside the AUM, just lower it, for example, transpose it down, okay? Volume. What I like to do sometimes is to add an effect. I find the Stellar Box is excellent for this type of things. So I set these void realm and exactly on the harmony. Of course, at the end, if you were to go into production, you do mastering, right? So you do further adjustment. Something else I like to do as well, but again, preferences, another audio channel, I bring in J8 synth. And at the moment, I'm now using the second track. So if I go into more settings here, the accompaniment style, right, I'm going to change this. And I'm going to set it, for example, to, you can do bass, whatever you prefer, right? But something that works really well is, let's have a look. For example, drone. You can set the note B, perfect, and then lock it as well. So now, J8, Super J8 has some drones, which is really good. But again, you can use other application, right? And your preferred plugin. Drone Dreaming is actually quite nice. Again, you'll have to probably lower the main quite a bit. It was not connected, so I connected it now, and let's start. So you should hear now the drone behind with a little bit of effects. Again, you might have to adjust volume, you might have to apply EQ, etc., but it gives you a sense of where we're heading. again, then play, next, generate new motifs and go from there. You can hear the beating from Super J8 from that drone, which is really good. But I keep playing, this is why I really love Piano Motifs. I really hope you have headphones, because that's the only way to read properly. So in this tutorial, we have seen how to create a chord progression, which you can go back and edit, by the way. You can change triad. You can put extended chord, add the 9th, 11th, 13th, which are really, really good. If you want to do ambient, you can do a parallel scale chord as well. You can do inversion, etc., etc. You have a lot of different options. But remember, at the bottom, you can repeat the progression. You can delete this one, clear everything. You can reconstruct it again. So there's really a lot you can do. In this way, you will play that chord progression, which is what you really want in some cases where you have, that's something defined. Or, you can go by number of bars that you want to define, and which you use when you randomize, right? So, and the other option, we have seen them in other tutorials, so that is fine. But I will continue with upcoming tutorials to explain a little bit more what else you can do with Piano Motifs. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. This is starting point, so if you never created ambient music, you can start from here. You can follow these tutorial and you can quickly create something. Again, you don't need to use the same plugins that I've used, including the effects. There's so many. For example, Synth Master 1 and 2 are really good, as well as plugins, etc. There are so many out there. Okay, thank you very much. See you next time. Bye.